Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing today? The webcam. I forgot to flip it. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? What's up? PokeMMO stream recap 167. Day 46 out of 62 throughout PokeMMO official Shiny Wars. I'm currently sitting at 8,250 encounters on my current hunt. Hoping to see some wet streaks start here. Let's go ahead and start today by collecting some of our Pokeyen from some things that have sold on the GTL. And then I also have 2 Lucarios that I want to go ahead and find some breeders for, just for a specific cause. So let's go ahead and get these Lucarios bred, and I'll see you guys with any exciting egg hatch. We have a lot of eggs, honestly, to hatch today. With any hopeful egg shinies, we'll be over at times 3 horde spots. I've been finding myself at Zorua. I've been finding myself at Zangoose and Seviper. I've been finding myself at Trapinch/Cacnea. Now that we're out of Cryogonal Jail, there are so many viable options, and it's been really fun to change spots when I need a change of scenery, which is really important in my opinion when you're grinding in an MMO. All right, I'm going to need Ditto breeders for both of these Lucarios, one of which will have to be alphas, one of which won't matter. This one, honestly, not too bad of a price. 14K for that. We'll go ahead and pick that bad boy up. I'll show you guys what this looks like in the old man. We'll buy both a speed brace and an attack brace. I don't think I'm popping charm today at all, so honestly there's no need to like save the breed for a shiny charm. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through with it. 2 times 31, 20 plus in all the defenses. Really hoping that this thing comes out with a usable nature, but we'll just have to see. If it doesn't, we'll just start a rebreed from scratch. I'm honestly a huge fan of like going for that 2 times 31 with nature, or going for that nature roll when breeding for profit. And then if it doesn't come out with the correct nature, I just start from scratch. I just start a new breed. I basically just sell that one off for minimal profit, and then I just start a new breed from scratch. And if you roll the nature, you end up making a ton of profit. So let's go to Lucario breed number 2. This one is going to need an alpha Ditto, which is going to make this breed a lot more complicated and a lot more expensive, but I still think it's worth it. Although, actually, I might check for Lucarios, to be fair. I'll check for Lucarios first, just in case. Yeah, it seems like Lucario is not going to be the play. It seems like Dittos are a fair bit cheaper. I think this one might just be the cheapest. Yeah, just being 80K. It's not too bad, honestly. I will take that. Speaking of alpha Dittos, I will give you guys a quick, not financial advice, but just something to keep in mind. A quick little tidbit that may or may be the case, may or may not. May or may not be the case. With the Halloween season coming up and just event season in general, there are bosses that you can kill during event season to put particle effects on certain Pokemon. People have historically done this thing called Ditto particle effect farming, where you essentially buy a bunch of Dittos, put particle effects on them, and then sell those Dittos later on so that people can breed those particle effects onto whatever Pokemon they so desire, right? It's important to keep in mind that alpha Dittos will probably rise in price like pretty soon here, for that particle farming, because alpha Dittos, there's just not that many that come into the game, and they're way less controllable, right, than like normal Dittos. Like normal Dittos, you can just you head over to Hoenn, head over to Johto, head over to a location to farm them. Alpha Dittos, you have to wait for a random spawn every 6 hours or so, and just hope that it so happens to be a Ditto, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if these go up in base value. Now now there's still actually, let's check how many are on the GTL. I think that'll give us it's good to check numbers like that to get an idea. I'm gonna guess 600. That's my guess. Let's see if there's maybe more. There's more. Okay, let's see. 750, 800. Wow. Okay, there is a lot. Maybe we're fine. Maybe once again, this is what's the important things to check. 1200. Make whatever decision you want. I'm just going to show you guys the numbers, give you guys historically what happens, and as many numbers as we can, and then you guys make whatever decisions you want to do. Okay, that's what I always say, because I'm not gonna I don't want people knocking down my door. Patrouski, you told me this would be guaranteed money. Like, well, no, I didn't, but all right, there's a lot of alpha Dittos. Wow, that is genuinely shocking. I did not expect there to be this many alpha Dittos. I'm gonna be super honest. Look, are you kidding me? It's still going. I'll just see you guys once I'm at the end. Oh, we're there. Keck W. 2,820 alpha Dittos listed. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. What does that mean? That's up to you to judge. This is a really good beginner question. I have a question about hordes. I have a Surskit with Sweet Scent, but it's not giving me hordes. Am I in wrong locations? Yes. So Firstly, this might seem a little basic. Maybe I'm mansplaining to you. I apologize. You have to be standing in a grass location or in a wild location where Pokemon can spawn, right? So it has to be like on top of a grass tile or in a cave where wild spawns can occur, right? And then on top of that, certain locations that are like really early game just like won't give hordes, right? Because they don't want, you have to be able to be at a location where you can accidentally run into a horde as well. Let me actually just go through this breed, and I'll just show you. So let's just go ahead and go through with this 1 sec. So for example, you will never see hordes on like Route 1, right? Because you're not meant to encounter, as a new player in a Pokemon game, you're not meant to encounter hordes of Pokemon on Route 1. That would, like, imagine you have your level 5 starter, and then you go over to like Route 1 and you run into like a horde of even level 2 Bidoofs, they would stomp you, right? Like if you do a Sweet Scent here, you're just gonna get a single encounter, right? So yeah, you have to at least get to a point. That was a huge thing during my my speed run to a shiny Pokemon from scratch, was progressing through the storyline enough to actually get access to a good ×5 horde spot. That's why ×3 horde spots exist in the first place. A lot of ×3 horde spots are in those middle game sections, right? So here you see me over at Nimbasa City. I'm not quite like far into this. This is like 3 gym badges, I want to say, maybe 4. And if you head over here, you can do ×3 hordes over here, and you'll get ×3 hordes of Trubbish and Minccino, but not ×5 because you're not far enough into the game to where they think that you're actually able to take on a horde of 5 Pokemon. Hey Pat, realistically, how much Pokeyen do I need to make per day to try egg shunts? It's a great question. It depends how many like batches you do a day and how much you do. I would say minimum 1 million Pokeyen a day, but that's even like, I always say, I wouldn't even start egg hunting, right? Until you have, this is the biggest mistake I ever made, was only starting egg hunting with like 42 mil cash and a couple donor statuses and like 10 or 20 shiny charms. And that wasn't nearly enough, right? If I were you, my biggest recommendation is I wouldn't start egg hunting. It is supposed to be a 1% like end game activity. Most players should not have a shiny Charizard, a shiny Beldum, a Metagross, right? Like that's why they're so rare. It's what keeps them so rare. Which is unfortunate for a lot of players, but that's what keeps it. That's what makes it valuable and prestigious in the first place, right? So, I would recommend starting an egg hunt unless you have around 60 million Pokeyen cash, and then on top of that, I would recommend like a couple, maybe 5 to 10 30-day donor statuses, and then on top of that, like 20 shiny charms. Like you need a lot prepped, in my opinion. And then on top of that, you should be making Pokeyen per day, aka probably like 300k to 1 mil. If you're making 300k to 1 mil on top of having that amount prepared going into it, I think that's ideal. Yeah, also, if you want to go a more budget route and you have 2 devices, you can catch your own Dittos on an alt account and shipping them over to your main to help. Honestly, I think that is really viable nowadays for sure, honestly. More viable than ever. I would strongly not recommend. Do whatever you want. If it's satisfying for you and you enjoy it, then I would recommend it, right? But I strongly wouldn't recommend for most players to catch their own Dittos on their main account. Like don't go do a bunch of eggs and then go catch those Dittos to do the next eggs. And like I feel like that's just way too slow. Like you turn an already slow hunt, you turn like a 1,200 hour to 2,000 hour hunt into like a 4,000 to 6,000 hour hunt, and it just becomes ridiculous. I wouldn't catch your own Dittos on your main account personally, but if you want to, go for it. Obviously, I'd recommend either catching them on an alt or making sure you stack up Pokeyen beforehand. All right, let's check our Riolus, both of which, wow, I got really lucky today. That's kind of crazy. I got very, very lucky. Both of these Riolus came out with usable natures. They're not ideal, but both of them are honestly super usable. I mean, if you want to go mixed on this one, you could. Normally, you'd want naive on a mixed Lucario, but these are both solid. This is actually like, this is so good. Super, super happy to see this. I'm going to send one of these off to a friend of mine. And yeah, I'm really happy to get those breeds done with. I might end up selling one as well here in a quick sec. What the hell? What is this? What the hell is this? Tuba Skinny. GTL buyout. I wasn't sure what particle effects you'd want on your Pokemon, so I just got some decent ones. These are the last raid mons, but I still have particle for you. Dude, you don't have to give me this stuff. It's very nice of you. My food take for you is syrup. Should be more acceptable condiment. Actually, wait. This is what a based food take. I don't know what, like, I don't even know what you'd put it on. Like, maybe like syrup on hash browns goes ridiculously hard. If you have any suggestions on realistically what it should go on, are we putting it on pasta like we're like fucking Will Ferrell from Elf? I don't know, but I agree with this generally in a general sense. Anime take for you. Steins is gonna be those who don't like it, don't understand. Me and Casey watched the first. Me and her have both watched like the first half of Steins Gate and dropped it every time. I've got to finish it. I feel like it's one of those. I at one point I'll get through it. Thank you for the dude. This is like a lot of Pokeyen. Like these are like 2 mil, 2 mil alone. This is a lot, man. This is a very, very generous dude. This is a very, very generous. Wait, how much are like some of these are expensive, man. Snowflake 2.5 mil for this. Rising Star. I'm just gonna keep these and hold on to these. That's about a mil. Dude, I really, really thank you so much. Red Dragon is an underrated particle. Particle effects in general are underrated. I feel like not enough people buy them. Black Hole. Dude, thank you so much. These are so generous. This is what a generous gift and based food take along the way. Let's do a clip on this because I feel like I've seen a lot of confusion regarding the recent PokeMMO Economy talk, which is understandable. And I'm not, dude, I'm not educated. If I am wrong, please explain it to me. And if you make a good argument, hopefully I just adapt to it. Plenty of people have already corrected me in tons of great ways, right? But someone said, yo, Pat, was watching your stream recap recently where you talked about the deflation and nerfing netballs and maybe alphas to get the economy back. But wouldn't that cause a lot of inflation with the possibility to earn more yen from selling Pokemon and therefore driving up the prices overall, right? So the assumption you made is nerfing netballs equals making more Pokeyen, but that wouldn't be the case, right? Or I guess using cheaper balls. Netball, the problem with netballs is they raised the highest catch rate possible in the game on things like Dittos, a very catch-all Pokemon that needs to be difficult to catch for good IV mons to not be flooded into the game. They raised the max catch rate from Ditto from like 80% catch rate with like Dust Ball, Sleep, 1 HP, False Swipe Spore, whatever, to 95, like 98%, right? So now Dittos are being caught faster than ever, more consistently than ever. You're able to catch, you used to be able to catch like 27 Dittos per hour. Now you get like 38. Like it's a lot more Dittos per hour, which brings in a lot more of them, which then floods the economy and lowers the price of 1 times 31 Pokemon, etc., right? Nerfing netballs would then make it more difficult to have those higher catch rates and catch as many Pokemon as quickly as possible, which would then hopefully reduce the amount of good IV Pokemon coming into the game. Does that make sense? And then just less alphas. Once again, like breeding, yeah. Pokeyen. Also, someone else mentioned a very simple thing, but let's address it. Someone said, PokeMMO obviously has inflation because when people payday and do gym runs, it brings Pokeyen into the game. So obviously, inflation is a problem, right? You're not wrong. There, in every economy, in every system, there will always be more currency being brought in. The question is, how many things do you have bringing currency out, right? So Pokeyen sinks, gold sinks is a very common MMO term, right? In PokeMMO, we have the GTL tax, we have breeding braces, right? Just paying straight up Pokeyen for the ability pill, the breeding braces, potions, Pokeballs from shops, etc., etc. The GTL tax really takes care of a lot of it. From what we've heard from the devs in the past, the Pokeyen going out versus the Pokeyen coming in is extremely healthy and very, very on track. And we don't really have... PokeMMO is a rare MMO where we don't really have inflation issues, almost specifically because it's harder to... Pokeyen's the easy part. The harder part is Pokemon values. The thing that every other Pokemon MMO has failed on, and like what causes other monster catcher MMOs to fail, is the devaluation of good IV Pokemon over time. Because if you have an infinite breeding system, you just slowly, infinitely, you're just adding Pokemon. You have to be able to sink good IV Pokemon out of the game, and adding systems like the breeding system in PokeMMO or like Prismatic Pearls for Shinies, adding systems that sink Pokemon out of the game is the most powerful, most important thing that we can focus on. Hopefully all of that makes sense. Hopefully all of that adds up. If you think I'm wrong, you know, I'm not educated formally on any stuff. So feel free to correct me if you think I'm incorrect. Feel free to argue, disagree politely. My word is not law. I do not know everything. This is just the best argument that I've seen in my understanding. So it seems to be what I adapt, right? I remember that was the point that you made, is why also Nintendo would never make a Pokemon MMO. Yes, I have a video called why as a Pokemon MMO, you know, veteran with over thousands of hours, right? Why I don't think Nintendo will ever make a Pokemon MMO, and it's largely due to it just goes against a lot of their values, and it's not possible to balance in a normal Pokemon system, right? Like the main thing being, I don't think Nintendo is ever gonna make a game where you have to like consume your Pokemon, or like they'll never make a game like Pal World, right, where your Pokemon have guns and are used as like a labor force, and like they're never gonna do that because it goes against their vibe essentially, right? Maybe they could change. It's very possible like that vibe could just change over time, and maybe we'll see that. But at their current goal, with their goals just don't line up with that, right? Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't realize this guy sent me a level 15 2012 Gyarados. Dude, this is really, really rare. Holy shit. This was like I don't know if you'd call it a bug, but like back in the day, you just could catch wild Pokemon. Yeah, this is crazy. I'll never level this up, don't worry. That is insane. That is crazy. This is wildly rare. Yeah, back in that, you could just catch Pokemon that were evolved below their evolved level, like in the wild. That was just how it was. That is a super sick. That is like that's one of my favorite 2012s now. Thank you so much for that donation, Carlo. That's so crazy, man. You guys don't have to, please. I would say, please don't give me stuff, honestly. Like, I appreciate it, but like, I'd rather people just keep their stuff and encourage you guys to keep playing. Like, I love this game. All I care about is this game never dying. The more players, the better. That's all I really want. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Thank you so much. Can we talk about that, dude? The food take of the day. Creamed corn is actually so good. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 2 years old, 20 years old, 200 years old. Creamed corn is just tasty. It's just good. It's just like sweet, delicious. I know the texture may not be forever. I get it, but it's just delicious. Like, creamed corn is amazing. It's good, but I don't like the texture. Understandable. I can respect that. Fair take. I respect that. Okay, I really do. The flavor to me is so worth it. It's so good, dude. I'm a creamed corn fanatic. Oh my goodness, Choco Beam, what a good deal. You know what's better than Tyson's Chicken Nuggets? HelloFresh. Make sure to use Patrouski's promo code to start cooking fresh, delicious meals at an affordable cost. Wow, oh my goodness, Choco Beam, what a great idea from chat. If you click my link in the description, the best way to support the stream this month is HelloFresh. It's better than donating, it's better than subbing. The best way to support the stream, you get dope food. Plus, for every new HelloFresh sub, I will open one of each mysterious ball on stream, on Shiny Charm, okay? Which is like 1.6 million Pokeyen worth of gambling, right? So I'll open one mysterious Pokeball, one mysterious Great Ball, one mysterious Ultra Ball, one mysterious Cherish Ball, and one mysterious Premier Ball, right? Which should give me an extremely good chance at getting a very, very rare shiny. These shinies getting as low as, I think, 1 out of 1,900, 1 out of 2,100 shiny rates with Ultra Ball. Like, and also just for a Shalfa. Like, I will do all of that per HelloFresh sub using my link in the description or code this month. That's so interesting to hear. Someone in chat said, I really wanted to love PokeOne, but that game basically had no stable economy. For such a long time, the only way to make money was to create another account. It's so funny. That's exactly how it was back in 2013, 2014 PokeMMO. It's so interesting to hear that, like, other Pokemon MMOs encounter the same exact problems. Back in 2013, 2014 PokeMMO, one of the best moneymaker was to make an alt account, go through the storylines, keep the Pokeyen from just defeating all the trainers from the storylines, but then also you would only, so back then TMs, you could not buy TMs from shops, right? You would just get like one Earthquake TM per Kanto storyline, one Rock Slide TM, and you'd also have these things called move tutors, right? So there was these NPCs that would tutor the move for you for like free or for like 20k or whatever, but you only got one per account, right? So how insane does this sound, right? You only had like, if a Pokemon needed to learn Swords Dance, you had one Swords Dance tutor per account. That was it. And I remember the Swords Dance tutor was like on that little bridge on like Island 7 in Kanto. So you had to like complete the full storyline, complete all the island's mini quest, and if you did all of that, you got one Swords Dance tutor. So people would sell their tutors for like 80 to 100k a pop, which is a lot of Pokeyen back then. Like getting Swords Dance on Amon was like expensive and a very, very big to do. You'd have to find someone who was selling their tutor and then not get stamped. It was a whole thing. Like that was the TM market back then, and tutors was so crazy. This is a hot take. Hot take, raids are going to be solved quickly, and many players will not regard them very highly after the feature has been out for a while. Oh man, so JDB Tree follows up. I hope they have seasonal raids. I don't want all raids content to just drop at once. Yes, I think the way to solve that, because otherwise you're inevitably not wrong. And I think for the higher level community, that will probably be true, which is why I'm more excited for raids for the community, right? Raids are honestly an update for the casual player base to give them a dedicated go-to thing to do at the end game if you don't want to set your own goals or may not have the time or energy for that, right? Raids are essentially just an on rails piece of content, right? So it is more a casual, which is good. That's what we need to save the game, is a good, I've been saying forever, I think raids will be the best update Pokemon has ever gotten, and it will help it'll help player retention and help that average player base, which is exactly what we need. And we may solve raids for like the high end players, but the average player may not watch those guys. They may not watch the YouTube videos. They may not, they might not know or follow the strategies. So I don't think raids actually will be solved for a fair bit of the community, but maybe we'll have to see. We'll have to see. And I think seasonal raids and consistently trickling in raids the same way they've done with alphas would be amazing. Clarko in chat says, I think alpha spawns should be halved, to be honest. It's kind of harsh. And once again, it's this thing of like, I'm going to say this take, and a lot of players will say, no, don't nerf it. Oh my God, that hurts new players. But in reality, like nerfs are what help new players. That's what makes Pokeyen money-making methods better in the long term, right? So it adds the value. I think that we should nerf alphas to being one spawn per IRL day, right? Right now, it's like 1 every 6 hours. So it's like 3 to 4 a day, an IRL day. That's a lot, man. I know, and I know that if you do 1 alpha spawn a day, it makes it so a lot of times they're gonna happen at 4 a.m. They're gonna happen when you're sleeping. They're gonna happen at off time zones, and you're gonna miss that alpha. But I think that's okay. I think alphas should be treated as a rare little treat, right? Where you should miss them probably most of the time, right? I think it's kind of crazy that we can catch multiple alphas a day consistently, and it's just so, yeah, it feels crazy. It's really, really hurt the 2x31 market. Absolutely. I feel like, yeah, as a result of making alphas rarer, people hear that as like, oh, that will ruin my money-making method and now I'll make less Pokeyen. Well, no. That will drive up the price. So now you'll have less of it, but when you do it, it'll make you more Pokeyen, and it'll also save the 1x31 and 2x31 PokeMMO Economy, which will then make catching Pokemon for profit better. Like, it's the same thing with the netball nerf. Like, nerfs need... Players are so short-term scared of nerfs, but they're what long-term help the game succeed and balance things out and help the game. Like, it's just, and you have to have the different perspective of what's good in the short term versus long term, and what's good for the game versus good for the players, and yada yada yada, right? It's a really, really important discussion to have. If they give us another way to get hidden ability access, then yes, make them once per day. What if they made it so that the surrounding spawns were 100% hidden ability access, as opposed to like 25? Like when an alpha Dragonite swarm happens, right? You have like the 3 or 4 Dragonairs surrounding it. What if they just made it so those were 100% chance to be hidden ability access? Now that's a great point. What if they just made those 100% chance to be hidden ability versus like the 25 or 20% or whatever chance they are right now? I think that would balance it out quite nicely, in my opinion. And it would also encourage people to put in the more work and actually catch those spawns, as opposed to just running away from them. Raids, yes, raids are going to bring in more alphas and more 2x31s into the game. I feel like they have to nerf alphas. I feel like alpha spawns must get nerfed. I feel like they have to get nerfed over the next like 3 to 6 months. I feel like it's actually so important. I feel like if alphas don't get nerfed, it's going to remind me a lot of like 2013 to like, or no, not like 2015, 2016 Pokemon market, which was scary times where the game almost died. Like, I feel like if alphas don't, I think alphas need to get nerfed or we're going to enter a very bad market. I think it is genuinely very, very scary. I think they have to get nerfed within the next 3 to 6 months. Raids releasing more IV Mons like that, it's going to be such a problem, in my opinion. Do we have a way to get legendary out of the game yet? No, we don't. Yeah, we need legendary syncs as well. I don't think we have any legendary syncs. A legendary sync is going to have to happen at some point as well. Will new players be able to participate in raids, or we need really good IV Pokemon? You'll need pretty good IV Pokemon and pretty high level Pokemon. The whole point of raids is that it should be an end game piece of PVM content. If new players could just participate in those without putting in any of the effort or work that other players have to prepare Pokemon, that would be kind of a shame, right? It'd be like if in World of Warcraft, like, you could just imagine if you could just pay to be level 60 and then like pay someone to carry you through a raid. Oh wait, you can, and that's a horrible system, right? yeah, you don't want, not every piece of content, especially endgame PVM content, should be accessible to new players. I'm sorry. I'm the biggest, like, let's help new players and be nice to them advocate possible, but you should not have, you shouldn't have access to everything as a new player. You should have to work for it. You should see like an endgame player and be like, man, that's so cool. That's a goal of mine. Let me put in the few hundred hours and get there, right? That's the achievement feeling of an MMO. This is a great question. Does the Halloween event usually drop on Halloween or October 1st? On Halloween. Now, if you're new to Pokemon, if you're new to event season, we have to keep in mind, it's possible that this is so shitty. This is the worst thing to have to explain to new players. It's possible, it's technically possible, these events just don't happen. They are not promised events. They are not scheduled. They are not guaranteed. We just go off of guesstimations based on previous years. This is one of the biggest, fairest critiques you could make about the PokeMMO devs. The lack of communication, especially regarding events, is pretty insane. It's pretty ridiculous. It doesn't allow people to plan for them. It doesn't allow people to like take off work if they want to. It doesn't allow people to like. It is a mess. However, generally, historically, events drop on the holiday, right? So Christmas event on Christmas, Halloween on Halloween. Sometimes they're a few days late. Sometimes they may be a day early. Like, you gotta just play it by ear. If you want to make sure you're up to date, you can subscribe to my channel and ring the bell notification, as I will be uploading like 4 videos a day minimum during event season. I go crazy during event season to try to cover the event as much as I possibly can. So make sure if you want to, see guides and that content as soon as possible, subscribe, like the video, and ring the bell for notifications. How long do events usually last? Great, around 2 weeks. There's 10 days, 10 to 14 days. That's a great question. Great, quick question. Okay, chat, I have a new shunt for us to go try. I've never done this shunt before. I don't know what specifics it will entail, but it is for an extremely underrated, very, very, very cool shiny, okay? Let me show you guys what it is, where it's at. The only downside of this spot is that it might be a ×3 Lepa spot, which is pretty expensive, but what are you going to do? Okay, so we're starting, I believe we start over here in Nimbasa City, in Unova. We're going to make our way over to Desert Resort. I don't know exactly what spot. It also has to be nighttime. This is a nighttime only shunt. That's very important. Nighttime only shunt. You should say Desert Resort in the top left when I'm at the right location. I don't know exactly where I'm going to have to be. So I'm going to make my way over to and bike around this pathing. Not bad pathing. Not terrible. Okay. Wait. It might just be here, to be honest. Let's see. Yes. Okay, right here. Honestly, this is actually technically possible to do without Lepas. It wouldn't be that good, but you could use without Lepas. Maractus and Sandile. This is actually a pretty good Shiny Wars spot as well, which is really cool. It's a nighttime only. Dude, Maractus is such an... Let's see if there's one on the GTL. If not, I'll have to Google... Yo, okay. Dude, look at this. How underrated is it? Are you kidding? No one hunts this. This shiny is so good. Like, I never see anybody with the follower sprite. I never see anybody hunt it. This is so based. Beautiful, beautiful shiny. I'm going to stick here for tonight's nighttime in-game. Whenever I do a Lepa shunt like this, I have started to build the habit of unbinding. I always unbind my teleport key. Because if I do a shunt like this and I don't unbind it, I'll just like subconsciously muscle memory click the teleport, and it's such a nightmare. So whenever you do a Lepa shunt, I honestly recommend kind of unbinding your teleport. It's a nice way to just kind of fix that. All right, fellas, it was supposed to be a shorter stream today, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it just a 3-hour stream today. Give myself a little bit more time to have a little bit of a time off and a break and watch the Ravens game. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Hopefully you enjoyed PokeMMO. Enjoy the stream recap. Like it if you did. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. You can follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Friday. Discord's down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support me this month, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal/Venmo, and HelloFresh subscriptions using the link in the description are the best way to support this stream this month. Getting yourself food while also aggressively supporting the stream, while also encouraging me to open mysterious balls and gamble for a rare shiny. Thank you guys for everything. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end of the video. That really means the world to me, and it means even more worlds to me if you go above and beyond and support my content financially like all of these lovely people have done. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.